1628, the Swedish ship Vasa sailed for 1,400 yards, and then it sank. The Vasa had been the pride of the Swedish Navy, and it sank in front of the king right when it was launched because its architects ignored known principles of engineering that shipbuilders had already been using for thousands of years, even in 1628. Hi, I'm Nathaniel Miller, and welcome to Sparks 1524. Today we're in part 2 of a discussion about the 3 major ways I think a writer can destroy their work. The first is betraying their foundational philosophy. The second, which we'll discuss today, is disrespecting or eliminating source material. And the final part will be elimination or betrayal of your canon. Now, source material and canon are very, very close. However, source material is your reference library. It's the dictionary, the set of encyclopedias on your shelf. Canon, just like in a religious sense, is what's actually gone into the story, what's been published, what's been written. They are aligned, but they're not the same thing. When the Mouse House bought Star Wars, almost 10 years ago, one of the first decisions they made was to eliminate source material. Lucasfilm had designated oodles, and by the way, oodles is a technical term in writing, same thing as thingamajig, whatchamacallit, and doohickey. Lucasfilm had authorized oodles of actual source material. These are projects that were contracted, novels by other writers, comic books, you have it. But Lucasfilm had said that these are part of the canon, the overall official history that is going on in the story, plus that makes them source material, reference libraries that other writers or the fans can come back and look at and say, oh, that's what that means. Ah, that's where that came from. The Mouse House eliminated almost 30 years of source material just like that. Now, on one level, if you're a writer working for Lucasfilm and you've written a novel or a comic book or a movie, a TV show, whatever, that was source material, you have contributed to one of the greatest franchises in the history of the modern world. And its new owner just said, your work is useless, they're going to do something completely different. That's a huge disincentive to anybody to actually want to be part of this because they could be the next one on the chopping block. More importantly, this disrespects your fans because they were counting on this source material as their reference library. This is part of what builds the shared experience that makes Star Wars, in this case, part of our cultural fabric. There is a huge library of reference material, that everybody could refer to and know what's going on. Getting rid of all of this destabilized the fan base. People have invested years into this franchise, and suddenly everything they invested in, 2/3 of it is deleted. That's not a good feeling, and that's not a good way to respect people who actually pay you. All of us who write for a living are being paid by people who take their hard-earned time and their hard-earned money to look at our work. The quickest way to lose them is to disrespect them, to take them for granted. Eliminating source material in a wanton mega fashion, like you just took one bomb and blew up your entire warehouse just to do it, is a great way to disrespect your fans. If you disrespect your fans, you disrespect the people who are paying you to do these things. These are things that none of us really need. We need food, we need water, we need air, some of us need electricity for medical devices. We don't need entertainment in the same way. So these fans are taking their hard-earned time and money to pay us to tell them stories, to entertain them, uplift them, make them think occasionally, but they expect us to be consistent within the rules of good storytelling. If you just wantonly eliminate source material, you are disrespecting not just your writers, you're disrespecting your fans. And if you disrespect your fans, you might find the fans It was supposed to be a very dramatic conclusion, it came out in a very undramatic way. If you disrespect your fans, they will disrespect you and consign you to a place in literary history right next to where the engineers who sank the Vasa are sitting today. Thank you for your time watching this. I would ask you to give a like and a thumbs up on this video. It does help support the channel. Please feel free to share it. I appreciate your time, and I'll catch you on the flip side.